today. An 18-yard touchdown strike.
The Colts ride into the playoffs. Good morning, Sweeney Murdy with sports. Peyton Manning tossed 4 TDs in all, leading the Colts in a 31-10 rout of Minnesota. Indy clinches the final wildcard spot in the AFC. John Rooney called it on Westwood 1. The Jets missed a chance at that spot when they lost to Baltimore 34-20. Third straight loss for the Jets to end their season. Miami clinched the AFC's division title. Last-second field goal lifting them over New England 27-24. St. Louis beat New Orleans 26-21, but that wasn't enough for the defending Super Bowl champs. To make it back to the playoffs, they needed help from the Bears to beat the Lions. Came down to a last-second field goal. Here's Mark Champion on Detroit's WWJ.
Lions season could come to a halt. Michigan State, Paul Ettinger from 54. And the Lions season is over.
Bears with the upset, 23-20, the Rams into the playoffs. The Redskins will not be going to the playoffs. They ended a disappointing 8-8 season with a 20-3 win over Arizona. And Bruce Smith already looking toward next year.
You can only beat a dead horse into the ground so much, but right now I think there's some very positive things that we can focus our attention on to help this team get better.
Monday night game will have an impact on the AFC playoff picture. Tennessee visiting Dallas. The Titans can wrap up the AFC Central, a first-round bye and home field with a win. If Dallas wins, all those go to Baltimore. So one wins the division, the other hosts Denver in a wild-card game next Sunday, and Tampa Bay goes to Philadelphia. Saturday, it's Indianapolis at Miami, St. Louis at New Orleans. Giants and Vikings have byes in the NFC, Raiders in the AFC, plus either the Titans or the Ravens. Divisional playoffs will be January 6th and 7th. Conference championships the following Sunday. Super Bowl 35, January 28th in Tampa. Live in the Morning Sports, I'm Sweeney Murdy.
Good morning, I'm Gina Mahan for the President Online DSL Fan Highway Patrol.
Rabbi Mark Gelman is here. Father Tom Hartman is not.
But he's no doubt out helping some downtrodden sinner become more downtrodden.
Well, yeah, we're
healing the wounds of this wounded world. That is what my friend is doing. I don't know where he is, but he's doing that, I'm sure.
So yesterday, Charles and I have lunch with the guy who runs Infinity Broadcasting, the Zen Master, and the manager of this station here in New York, WFAN, over at some cheesy restaurant in Manhattan, which just can't suck enough.
Absolutely. What was that all about?
The most hideous, the Manhattan Ocean Club. There's no restaurant on the planet with worse service.
Where was everybody?
Jesus,
they had a lot of people running around,
but I mean, they had 80 people there, and nobody, sucked. Couldn't suck enough. Anyway, but the Zen Master didn't take it, so the lunch is over at 3:30. So I go home, and Charles ostensibly goes home. Mm-hmm. And he calls Connie and says, I'm about 4 o'clock. Yeah, I'm on this side of the Lincoln Tunnel. I don't know what time I'll get home, but I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Implicit in that remark. Yes. So I called Chuck's house at 8 o'clock, and he's not there.
Mm-hmm. Got home about 8:20, 8:25, right in that area.
So nobody's heard from him. She hasn't heard from him.
But there are
I'm going to explain it.
extenuating circumstances
Fine.
here you're not going into.
She had dinner reservations, Connie did, to have dinner, and she thought maybe you might go. You didn't say you weren't going, and you didn't say you wouldn't be home in time to go.
That's a rotten, dirty lie.
So in other words, you didn't call for 5 hours. And so of course, and you know, I'm thinking, Deidre does this too, by the way. Goes someplace and doesn't call for 4 or 5 hours, which she's not going to do anymore, and neither are you. So they're having a FAN Christmas party, which of course I didn't attend because
who wants you there?
So did you go to this thing?
No.
So it's one of these things where it's like a Paco disco party.
Yeah.
at some cheesy restaurant in Manhattan
On a Tuesday night because they got it cheap.
Yeah, Tuesday night because they got it cheap.
God forbid it should be Friday night.
So try to call. As you call, you get some nitwit on a phone. And the music is just screaming.
Yo, what's up?
Exactly. So I try to get a hold of Joel, our manager, to find out where Charles is.
Yeah.
And so then Joel's on the phone with all the police.
This is just...
And then Stupid finally comes in. He says, well, he decided to go Christmas shopping at the Willowbrook Mall.
And why? Why did I? Because I thought that Mrs. McCord was having dinner with somebody else. I thought it was a perfect opportunity for me to do a little bit of this.
Well,
hey.
So then, and then he claims that while he's at the Willowbrook Mall, somebody breaks the passenger side window of his automobile.
That's exactly
But lo and behold, they didn't take anything.
No, they didn't.
Gee, what a surprise. He had his bag in there, his Burberry coat, and a bunch of other yuppie, preppy stuff he wears.
Connie's new mop was still there, Chuck?
Yes, it was. And
undisturbed.
It sounds like the deal on that guy in Boston. Remember the guy in Boston who bumped his wife off?
I'm a crime victim, and I'm getting blamed for something.
I'm surprised you didn't shoot yourself.
It was probably at Cheeks West.
Exactly.
Looking at some hoes.
Yeah, they were your dollar bills.
Oh, well, that's just ridiculous.
So now we have the same sort of situation here with Monsignor Tom Hartman, who we don't know where he is.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't called anybody. So here we have another thoughtless priest.
Well, I think it's time that you explained to the listening audience there is no Monsignor Hartman.
Well, yeah.
He's actually a voice, one of the other voices that Larry Kenny does. There's no Rabbi Gelman either.
No, Rob does.
I'm just some washed-up comedian who came on here.
No, Rob does the Monsignor. Larry does the Rabbi. So, I don't know what we do now. What do we do, Rabbi?
Well, I don't know. I think you're overlooking a fact here. This was a genuine, absolutely affirmative holiday miracle that happened to your friend here.
Well, I mean,
broke the window, did not steal anything.
That's right.
And what probably happened, they broke the window. They were overcome by the spirit of the holiday.
Probably so.
The spirit of God entered
Listen
into
to Rabbi.
them.
Probably somebody drove
In fact,
by.
I bet they even put presents into your car. I bet they broke the window in order to put some presents into your car.
That's right.
Well, do you have any of their presents with you that you purchased there?
Why would I have them here?
Well, because maybe you were buying something for me.
Maybe I was.
Well, where is it?
Well, is it Christmas?
I'm not going to see you at Christmas. And if the weather, if this storm blows in like I think it's going to, what's up, Bernie?
He brought the chia pet in that he bought for you. I know he did.
Oh, final exit. Yeah, it's right over here.
My
look,
God,
here he is.
There he is.
Speaking of
Monsignor Thomas Hartman arrived.
Now the real clergy is here.
You were here first.
But I was at Christmas shopping. See, this guy broke into my car. The window was pushed out.
Yeah.
But
Are you supposed to go around with your collar not buttoned? That's the first thing.
that's when you're in a tight situation.
Do you have a good explanation, young man, of where you were?
Yeah, I overslept.
Oh, you overslept?
That's it. I was playing tennis till midnight last night.
Oh, my God. Is it hard working in the fields of the Lord or what?
Well, at least...
No, I just want to see how the rabbi would do by himself.
Oh, my God. Sweating.
You have nothing to worry about, Father Tom.
We started out as the Tom and Mark show, then it became the Mark and Tom show.
Yeah.
Now it's the Mark show.
Is this our kind of priest, playing tennis till midnight?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Man,
It just doesn't get any better. I'm Mr. LeBorn here with blind Mississippi White Boy P.F. Dupree. My second favorite blues singer.
Really? Who's your first? Everybody else.
Yeah, that's right. I hate you.
I hate you more.
These songs are not funny and they're crummy. They're crummy and not funny. So,
Crummy and not funny.
yeah, what crummy and not funny song do you have today? Why are you laughing?
I got the Michael Jackson Christmas blues.
Oh, boy, this ought to be great. What's the matter?
Nothing.
Well, it could be great.
It could be.
Yeah.
Then again,
We've been rehearsing it, so I know what it is, don't I?
I guess you do.
So I know that it sucks. The audience just don't know that yet. So,
Well, I think we pretty much set it up pretty well.
yeah, let's let them out know now.
Oh, yeah, I did that.
Here we go.
Merry Christmas, Michael. You sure been good to me. Merry Christmas, Mr. Jackson. You sure been good to me. Drop your drawers and show me your penis underneath my Christmas tree. You done got yourself in trouble, but you got no one to blame but yourself. Santa knows where you've been sleeping, and you got no one to blame but yourself. So unless you want some coal in your stocking, stop cornholing on them little elves. Even though you may be naughty, ask old Santa for something nice, like a brand new shiny penis and some sound career advice. Oh, Merry Christmas, Michael. God rest ye merry gentlemen. But if I were you, I'd think twice about coming down them kiddies' chimneys again. Ho, ho, ho.
I rest my case.
Oh, look, it's the ghost of Christmas past.
Blind Mississippi White Boy P.F. Dupree here on the I'm Mr. Morning program. taking a trip to the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. Now there are 2 more reasons to check it out. Fujifilm is excited to announce we met these guys. I met them at a number of years ago at a roast for Bernadette Castro. Remember the woman who ran for the Senate against Pat Moynihan? Sure. And they both got up and they did this like their Smothers Brothers routine. It was hilarious. Then I found out they'd written this book, Where Does God Live, right?
Yeah.
And it was a charming, one of my favorite books. Like Deidre's favorite book is The Little Prince. Draw Me a Sheep. My favorite book is Where Does God Live? That's a charming, wonderful book. It really is. Now they have a new book, and they have a big-time publisher, William Morrow. Yeah. It's Morrow now, so we'll be hammering that here. So anyway, then they began appearing on the program, and here they are. And Rabbi got here early, and I did. And Father Tom overslept.
He was the first covenant, and I'm the second covenant.
Perfect. They have a television program that some of you may see around the country on cable called the God Squad. It may be time to update that, don't you think?
How about God Guys? Do you like that?
Well, I don't know. What?
We'll ask Mike Lynn. We'll ask some of your big-time friends.
God Place, or...
Yeah. God lives here.
Or maybe something with a 666. No.
But the problem is we're now known by both our viewers as the God Squad, so it is a problem that way. We have that name recognition.
And Deidre's family is Catholic, and so is she, sort of. And so we're throwing them a bone by... no, I'm just kidding.
You told me I was your friend.
You are my friend.
My best friend here.
So, and the rabbi was going to go too, except it's Saturday, and
it's cold.
And we couldn't negotiate a deal. We even got Mike Lynn involved in all this. But and Mike Lynn's upset now that he's not going.
Why?
Well, he didn't say he was upset, but I get the feeling he's one of my dearest friends, and I dedicated my book to him, so that ought to be enough. Well, three times I dedicated it to him.
So he's really covered.
But he wouldn't go, would he? He would never go. He and Nina would never go. I guarantee they wouldn't go.
He very well might have gone.
He would have a heart transplant operation before he'd go. If there's not a steam room and a $200 bottle of wine, there's no wine, there's no liquor on the reservation, he's not going to go. He's a movie mogul.
Well,
he's out of there.
Maybe he would have gone because he loves you.
I know he does. Well, I love him. I really do. But no, he wouldn't have gone.
Why, the opportunity to stand
because then if I invited
on the shoulder of I-22 in Durango in 4 feet of snow while you're getting married, that's an irresistible thing. Anyone would do that.
Well, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing.
So I just invited Charles. And I just didn't invite anybody else.
That's it.
There is a God.
Hey, I have 2 best men, Charles and Fred. And the dog's four-legged Fred's going to be in the ceremony,
Is he?
Yeah, of course.
Barking?
Yeah. Well, no, he doesn't bark.
The best animal.
Yeah. So,
I think the whole world feels invited to your wedding because they'll hear about it before and after, during.
I think you've lost your perspective. That's what I think.
Believe me, the whole world isn't invited.
Donna, look, before we talk about the wedding, though, we have a few things and blessings to offer to you. This was very bad news and tragic news about the plane crash, and we do want to pray for the souls of those people who were killed in the crash, and that God would comfort the surviving families and bring them a sense of solace at this time. We sometimes look at these tragedies as just something that affects us. Oh, if I fly again, will this hurt me? But the truth is that the risks of this world are impossible to avoid, and sometimes this kind of tragedy can happen and we overlook it, so we want to send our prayers to them first and foremost.
I guess it was a horrible scene. I was watching Ted Koppel last night on Nightline, and he had an eyewitness who was the first guy on the scene, and he said he got there and there was a guy miraculously walking around outside the plane as obviously a survivor.
Looking for his wife.
Yeah, horrible deal.
Yeah. But it's going to be a beautiful thing, your wedding. It'll be wonderful. There's lots of people who send their blessings.
Who?
Well,
name them.
I
want a list of their names.
There were 2 anonymous people who said...
That's what I thought.
Want some people on record here.
No, there's a blessing from our tradition. I'd like to say a wedding blessing. So if you say this with me, praised are you, O Lord our God.
What is that again now?
Praised are you, O Lord our God.
Praised are you,
O Lord our God.
Or Lord, our what?
Our God.
Our God.
Tom, we're going to have a problem. We better do one
Well,
word
no,
at
I
a
mean,
time.
I got my headphones on and I can't hear.
He doesn't hear well.
Okay.
King of the universe,
King of the universe,
who sanctified us with your commandments,
who sanctified us with your commandments,
and commanded us concerning circumcision. Oh, whoops, I'm sorry, that's the wrong blessing. I just did a bris yesterday. It's my fault. Donald, I take responsibility. I'm sorry. That was okay.
He's recruiting you for
It was a
Judaism.
mistake. It was an honest mistake. I'm sorry. I just have the wrong page of the rabbi's book. Here's my rabbi's book.
That wife's not going. There's no Jews in Utah.
Man.
Wife's not going.
I am embarrassed. I am really embarrassed. I'm sorry.
You know, he has a new recruitment number, 1-800-BE-A-Jew.
Yeah.
The priest and rabbi here, and we're talking about ad nauseum about this hideous wedding coming up.
Well,
It's not hideous.
No, it's a huge event.
I don't think it's hideous, but some other people do. Anyway, go ahead. Why are you looking at Tom? Tom has nothing. Tom's late and he has nothing.
He's barely here. We're just glad he's here, but he's going out.
I'm sneaking in good lines here.
No, if I were with you,
Yeah.
and if I were standing up to my pupik in 4 feet of snow with you and Deidre, I would have offered this to you. It's a passage from D.H. Lawrence's Lady Chatterley's Lover, and it is an extraordinary insight into marriage, and I offer it to you as my gift.
Lady Chatterley's Lover.
Yes. I know that may seem inappropriate, but
Nothing seems inappropriate,
from me,
frankly, but go ahead.
I know. But listen to this.
All right.
This is Lawrence speaking about marriage. So it must be. A voyage apart in the same direction.
Don't look at me when you're reading. Just read it. It makes me nervous.
Okay. I will shield my
What an
eyes.
idiot.
What an idiot. God,
Really
why?
not. You know
I'll
what?
tell you what. Start again, because I ruined it. I'm sorry.
Yes, you did.
Idiot.
But that's all right. I forgive you.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't. That is the difference. Our you get 3 forgivenesses. In Christianity, you get for like forever. But we mark them down, so you have 2 left.
Okay, start again. I promise I'll be quiet.
That's right. So it must be a voyage apart in the same direction. Grapple the 2 vessels together, lash them side by side, and the first storm will smash them to pieces. This is marriage in the bad weather of modern civilization. But leave the 2 vessels apart a bit to make their voyage to the same port, each according to its own skill and power. And then an unseen life connects them, a magnetism which cannot be forced. And that is marriage as it will be when all this is broken down.
What does that mean? I like it, though, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
I wish you that. A
It is
voyage to
beautiful.
the same port, each according to your own skill and power. And in also his words, the courage of your tenderness. God bless you, Donald, and God bless Deidre.
It's very nice. Thanks. Tom, you got anything?
God, you are a mushy romantic, aren't you?
Hurry up, we got the sponsor run here.
We're going to have to drop a stop sign here.
Bernie, tell you, Phyllis got to have a stop sign while the father thinks of a prayer.
You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not look him straight in the eye. Hardness is coming to town. Hardness is coming to town. Hardness is coming to town.
just launched a hot new website, thewiz.com, to make shopping for the hottest electronics a whole lot easier. Thewiz.com has over 100 of the most exciting new products and gift ideas in audio, video, and home office right at your fingertips. The shopping experience is great. Thewiz.com with design so you can easily find and click on the products you want and navigate around the website quickly and effortlessly. Now, besides great locations throughout the tri-state area, you can enjoy shopping at The Wiz right in your own home. In seconds at thewiz.com, you can check out the Panasonic portable DVD player, the Palm Pilot, personal CD players. Just click in and discover brands like Canon, Compaq, Philips, Yamaha, a lot of others, at cutting-edge prices and on the cutting edge of electronics. So, plus you can be assured you'll get great service after you make your purchases. The Wiz is New York's largest consumer electronics and music and movies retailer and has been for over 20 years. The Wiz.
Get ready for the NFL playoffs.
If Dallas does not convert here, the ball game is over.
Something from Mickey D's Dollar Menu. Every day, only at McDonald's. I'm Gina Mahan for the Verizon Online DSL Fan Highway Patrol.
Good morning, Salmonella.
Morning, Don. Thanks a lot. Shut up.
Fine.
I beat you to it this time.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
you
did.
did.
You know, this is a festive holiday season, Don.
Yes, it is.
God, you can't go no place in New York without feeling Christmas.
Right.
Without smelling Christmas.
Fine, let's not get too graphic.
No, I'm just saying, I mean, chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Right.
It's Christmas.
Okay, fine, Sal.
Swarthy Hindus selling Italian ices.
Sal.
Beautiful thing. Christmas in the city.
Fine, Sal.
I got a little story I would like to read. Every year, traditionally, I read this to all the kids in my neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
It's a very touching story.
What is it?
It was the night before Christmas.
Oh, we've all heard that, Sal.
No, not this one yet.
Oh, I see.
This is the night before Christmas, starring Salmonella.
Oh, let's hear this.
Thanks a lot. Shut up.
Fine.
It was the night before Christmas, and all through the block, not a creature was stirring, not even Ed Koch.
Mm-hmm.
The stockings were hung by the furnace with care, in hopes that by morning they'd all still be there. Me and this skank were getting ready for bed. I wore pajamas. She had a paper bag for her head. When up on a roof, I heard this big crash. Thought it was a burglar. I was gonna kick ass. Went out on a fire escape, looked up in the sky, and what did I see? This freaking fat guy with a red suit and boots that came up to his knees. In the moonlight, he looked just like Dom DeLuise. He had a big sled pulled by these reindeer. He called one of them dancer, so I assumed he was queer. As he crept off the roof, it became clear to me that this guy was looking to steal my TV. Over his shoulder, he had a big sack. He came down the stairs while I planned my attack. I waited a second till the timer seemed ripe. Smacked him in the head, bada bing, with a pipe. He fell to the floor with a groan and a thud. I was kind of surprised that I didn't see blood. Instead, he rolled over, looked me in the eye. When I saw who I hit, I near started to cry. I said, "Hey, yo, Santa, I'm sorry, all right?" "Not for nothing," he said, "but this just ain't my night." I got lost in the Bronx. I ran over some nuns. Had a near miss by Kennedy. Rudolph's got the runs. I'm out all freaking night and I'm busting my hump. But I can't continue now, not with this bump.
Yeah.
So do me a favor and be a real pal. Take over for me. And be Santa, Sal. I say, "Yo, I'm from Brooklyn. I ain't right for the part." But he said that Santa Claus comes from the heart. He made me an offer I couldn't refuse. Stop at every house, except for the Jews. I got in the suit and stepped onto the sleigh, wondering just why reindeer smelled that way. Took off on my mission, didn't want to be late, while old St. Nick spent the night hosing my date. That night, I was Santa, bringing kids joy and bliss. And if you don't believe me, then hey, jingle this.
Oh, that's very nice.
Since then, I've been with him each year in the cold, riding shotgun with Santa, because he's fat and he's old.
Yeah.
I'm his #1 helper. I've been deputized. So on this Christmas Eve, don't you be surprised if you hear a voice say, real loud and abrupt, "Merry Christmas to all." Thanks a lot. Shut up.
It's Christmas. Baby, please come home.
The snow's coming
Welcome to Calling All Colts. You're on the air. Theo 66, WFAN, New York.
Mike and the Mad Dog, Sports Radio 66,
Hello? Hey, Bill, you're missing Infinity Broadcasting, all rights reserved. I'm missing in the mornings one of them New York Jew boys and a presentation at WFAN and Westwood One Entertainment.
The flagship station for Mets baseball, Giants football, Knicks basketball, and Rangers hockey is The Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York, an Infinity Broadcasting station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good morning, it's 10 o'clock. I'm Sweeney Murdy. In the tradition of Jacob Marley and Ebenezer Scrooge, the Jets were visited by the ghosts of December's past yesterday. Tonight, low in the teens. It's currently 19 in Central Park with the wind chill. It feels like -1. This report brought to you by Food Emporium, where the very best lasts even longer with Energizer multi-pack batteries. You save $250 on assorted sizes with bonus savings card just for you. And that's what's happening. I'm Sweeney Murdy with 2020 Sports on WFAN. You're home for Mike and the Mad Dog, afternoons 1 to 6:30.
Two things that have plagued our efforts throughout the year and minimized the results probably we should have gotten from ball movement and ball stopping were too many turnovers and bad special teams play.
Testaverde, deep drop, sets, throws underneath, and it's picked off. McAllister has it. He could go. 40, 45, midfield, cuts back. He's going to go all the way. 30, 20, Chris McAllister takes it to the house. And the Ravens with a touchdown. Yes! 96 yards, and they take the lead.
Vinny took us here all year. Vinny got us ahead. Vinny got us in that mess. I told Vinny, you're the one who's going to get us out.
2nd and 10. 5 wideouts for the Jets. Testaverde, short drop, throws over the middle, intercepted. Starks has it, 40-yard line, fakes the lateral, midfield. He's at the 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, and finally out of bounds at about the 5 by Vinny Testaverde.
We did too many of the things that cause you to lose, as has been the case in too many games this year, which was obviously too many turnovers and bad special teams play.
Vinny, quarterback draw, and he's got a first down. Oh, he lost the football. Ravens say they have it. Let's see, was the ball blown dead? Ravens football. Testaverde, Rob Burnett recovered. Trapp made the hit, and this baby looks like it could be over.
With that lady can sing for sure now.
Sports Radio 66, The Fan, WFAN, New York.
10:05 here in The Fan. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm Susan Waldman. Be here by myself all week. Be here till 1 o'clock this afternoon. Steve Summers comes in then. And I guess your idea of a Merry Christmas depends on whether you are wearing a blue jersey or a green jersey this weekend. We're going to get the Jet stuff all out of the way first. So if you're going out for Christmas dinner, visiting the family, you call here right now with your Jet stuff. Get it out of your way. I don't want you yelling at your husband or your wife or your kids or the grandparents. Get it all out now.
The complexities of our political processes, Imus, in the morning. Such as, why don't they just give Al Gore a sex change? By my figuring, it's the only thing they haven't tried, dude. I'm sure you've seen it. They're giving this moron another overhaul to try to make him appealing to anybody. Jesus. The party's changed him so many times, they could have saved everybody a lot of grief if they'd just gone to a mental institution and gotten somebody with a multiple personality disorder and been done with it. Hell, I'm feeling so sorry for him, I may vote for him. They changed his suits, they stuck him in cowboy boots, they moved his entire campaign headquarters, they slimmed him down, fattened him up, got him in the weight room, had him charging his audiences at those debates. Now, wait a minute, I didn't mean that the way it sounded. I don't mean he was charging, like for admission, not that we found out about at least, although with this guy you never know. What I meant was that they had him doing that thing where he'd stride purposefully toward the audience and start screaming meaningless questions at them. Remember? Where are you from? How many children you got? What's your job? Humiliating. Here's the point. Naomi Wolf could send Al Gore to a plastic surgeon with orders to make him look like a cross between Abraham Lincoln and Brad Pitt, and he still isn't going anywhere. Hell, I read he's even starting to lose the senior vote, part of the Democratic Party bedrock, dude. If he's lost women, seniors, and also labor over that China trade deal, who and what's left? The way I figure it, by the time the election rolls around, Al Gore's down to 7 votes. The Baldwin brothers, Katzenberg, Geffen and Spielberg, Ed Asner, and Susan Sarandon. That's it. I mean, by the time this is over, Bill Clinton isn't going to vote for this loser. Okay, what else? The other Clinton, Hillary. Now she's officially running against Congressman Rick Lazio, because Ricky's now the officially installed New York Republican Senate candidate. Here's my problem. Why, when I see this guy, do I think of a kid in a beanie propeller hat? Very disturbing. I've got this mental picture, I do. Rick Lazio, propeller hat, riding in the backseat of his campaign bandwagon and screaming at George Pataki, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" No, Shrimp, you're not there yet. By the way, if you can't walk without pulling a Jerry forward every few feet, you're not going to get there either. How humiliating was that? Walking down the street in a parade, for God's sake, hundreds of people watching, and he falls over his shoelaces. Goes down like somebody had hit him in the back of the head with a bowling pin. What's that all about? Anyway, we've got to vote for him because he's lived here longer than 17 minutes. Let's see, what else? How could I forget? Fred, your brother, getting hitched. Who's the victim? I mean, the bride. Well, Dick Nixon sends his congratulations to both. I'm sure the ceremony will be very sweet and touching. Your little son, Wyatt, all dressed up, walking down the aisle, bearing the traditional bar of soap. Because the only ring involved in a Fred Imus wedding will be the one in the damn bathtub. Am I right? Oh, if I may, one final Rick Lazio thought. As you embark upon your campaign, Congressman, you've already fallen on your face. May it come to pass then that you don't also step on your... Ouch! Very savvy political and social guidance in the old Dick Scope today, J.D. From Dick Nixon, deceased former president of the United States. And, of course, the real Slim Shady.
Joe Queenan is here. He is the author of If You're Talking to Me, Your Career Must Be in Trouble. What was the deal with Barbara Streisand? I forget exactly.
I saw her, too.
Hey, well, that's right. You went to that, didn't you?
Yeah. The woman doesn't have any sense of mercy in her. Because you're sitting there listening to all this schmaltz, and you're figuring she's not going to do Papa, Can You Hear Me? From Yentl. There should be a Senate investigation into an industry that would allow someone to sing a song such as that.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
What did you make of the outing of Jan Wenner? They do say over there that he appears to be happier. The staffers at Rolling Stone.
But the staffers at Rolling Stone, these are the people who think that Bruce Springsteen, makes $3.75 an hour, punching it in a factory in South Jersey. The staffers at Rolling Stone.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Hi, everybody. Christopher the Marquis Russo. Yeah, Mike and I have 5 chips for 2 to see pro football's big game in Tip.
Name?
Well, I did, yeah. Is it Jaleel or what?
Jaleel is correct.
Well, it's Bernard typed it up wrong on my screen, and I'm just reading that, and Anyway, how are you?
Good. Good to see you back in one piece in New York. In your first 2 weeks accident, I called Ranch every day. Finally, one of those days, I got hold of Fred. And he says, "Oh, how did you get my number?" I said, "Fred, if you must know, I am not Howard Stern fan. I can figure things out.
Yeah.
You are in Ranch and you are one of the extensions." Anyway, I talked to him and told him, please give my best to him and tell him to get better. Did he ever tell you I called?
No.
Boy, I will never call Fred again.
Well, Fred is, Fred's had a lot on his mind.
By the way, yesterday the rating came up with the televisions.
Mm-hmm.
I guess somebody during the broadcast and the break told Dan Rather the rating came out, and apparently nobody listens to CBS Evening News. And boy, you should hear the following broadcast. I have a little piece cut it for you. Just listen to Dan Rather as Tom Brokaw says in his own word.
It's been first estimated 5.7%. Productivity increases. Inflation, they help keep inflation in check. On Wall Street, stock prices click.
That was it. Speaking about mumble.
Jaleel, you really got to figure out something to do with life, man.
Calling Fred, taping Dan Rather.
Yeah, I mean,
calling the I-Man.
Really.
Brother.
It's not working for you. Sad. So.
I-Man, how long is Scott Mooney's on the radio?
How long is who?
Scott Mooney.
No, that was I Love Lucy. You're talking about Scott Mooney.
Scott Mooney,
Yeah.
How long has he been in radio business?
I think probably a long time.
Somebody should teach him at least take the microphone out of his mouth when he talks. Boy, I couldn't get one word out of him today.
Well,
That's Jaleel and Ebert.
Here's the question I'm asking myself.
You
now.
need a Game Boy, Jaleel.
Is how Jaleel managed to actually get on here now. So anyway, nice to talk with you, Janelle. Hang the phone up.
Giselle.
Giselle. What did I
Thanks,
do?
Giselle.
Thank you, baby.
Bye-bye.
Have mercy on yourself now, baby. Here's Chuck.
Just go put a bomb together. Leave us alone.
I mean, don't put these people. I mean, I don't want to talk to these people. I don't want to talk to Jaleel playing tapes of Dan Rather.
We love Jaleel.
That's fine. We love a lot of people. We don't have to put them on the radio.
First time, long time.
God almighty. Bring a pack of Marlboros and a Slurpee and shut up. Honest to God.
I have tape of Wonder Wolf's teeth flying out of his mouth.
Sitting there taping everything.
Honest to man.
In town for the Millennium Summit.
Hey, man, I have tape of Edward R. Murrow.
I don't know.
Hey, tell Fred to go F himself. We're not putting me through.
Did Fred give you the message?
Call Fred and see. Let's find out from Fred.
That's a good idea.
If in fact Jaleel did call him.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, let's check with the news. Good morning, Charles.
Oh, yeah, he did. Oh. What?
Well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. I know not everybody has got a body like you, but I gotta think twice before I give my heart away. And I know all the games you play because I play them too. Oh, but I need some time off from that emotion. Time to pick my heart up off the floor. Oh, when that love comes down with a devotion. Well, it takes a strong man, baby, but I'm showing you the door. I gotta have faith. Gotta have faith. Gotta have faith. Gotta have faith. Get the f*** on. Imus in the morning.
And now a holiday poem from the MTA. The holidays are a great time to be in the city. Everything looks so amazing and pretty. The best way to get there, we know the way. It's, as always, New York's MTA. Their fast, frequent service we hold in regard. Plus, there are free rides and transfers with your Metro card. There's free weekend parking at many railroad stations, so you won't have to park in the city. That calls for celebration. If you need information, call us anytime. We hope you've enjoyed this holiday ride. Happy holidays from New York City Transit, Long Island Railroad, Long Island Bus, and Metro North Railroad. One system carrying the holiday spirit. MTA, going your way.
He said name your own price.
Chris Russo on Saturday and Mike Francesa on Sunday preview the opening weekend of the NFL playoffs beginning at 9 a.m. Then it's the wild card games beginning at 12:15 here on The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
The sports leader, Sports Radio 66, The Fan, WFAN, New York.
On the Fan, 12:20.
I like better than some extramarital sex.
Well, now I'm the type of guy who's got a new lease on life, but that don't mean I'm gonna start being faithful to my wife. What's the good of being a man if I can do what I please with my pants around my ankles and an intern underneath? I'm a philanderer. Yeah, I'm a philanderer. I screw around, 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 'cause I'm a philanderer. I'm a philanderer. I screw around, I screw around, I screw around, 'cause I'm a philanderer. Yeah, I'm a philanderer.
We're talking with Tim Russell from Meet the Press. Who in our government wants to send in ground troops, if anybody?
Chuck Hagel of Nebraska, John McCain are saying this is a war and you must win the war. That's the lesson of Vietnam. You cannot go in half-cock, half-ass. If you're going in, you got to go in.
Half-ass? Would you say that on a Today Show?
No, but I'm on with you, Don. Is that all right? And you're a full ass, okay?
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
There's a parody edition of the New York Times on newsstands. Have you seen it?
No.
It's really funny. Bill Parcells named new coach of the Knicks.
I must kick Stern's ass in ratings. Goes on drunken spree. Deirdre files for divorce.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
The most important thing you and your family can be playing for the Jets, and you did
Cincinnati.
Let
me ask you a
You're
question.
telling me you went to play for the Arizona Cardinals because you love Phoenix? I don't think so.
I had a house out there. I love
Well,
Phoenix.
of course you bought a house because you're playing for the team.
No, I had a
Where
house
you live?
before I went to Phoenix.
You had a house where?
In Desert Mountain. That's up in North Scottsdale, Carefree Ranch.
Good, a retirement a community, which you should have been thinking about then.
Do you treat your other guests like this?
Yes.
No, you don't. You don't treat Howie Long and Phil Sims like this. I know for a fact you don't.
The opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange
What the
is
hell is the
sponsored
matter
by
with you?
buyandhold.com.
What is the matter with you, really?
Don't holler at me, you big
Are any
dope.
of those guys sponsored? No. Do any of those guys put money in your pocket, get you a Mercedes-Benz? No.
Start small and think big. Invest for the long term because trading can be hazardous to your health. Hey, you know what I drove this weekend?
I know. You drove the ML430.
No. The M55, the sport
Oh, the M55. Well,
Man,
I'm still trying to get you a V70, and you won't take one.
160 miles an hour, that thing goes.
You need the V70 sports wagon is what you need.
What is that?
That's so Deirdre can tool around up there in Greenwich.
No, she doesn't care about this.
Is there a red cross on the side?
Will you just tell Barney to stick his nose other places?
You settle down, Whitey. Yeah, we'll take care of you when you come.
I'll come and see
if
you
we can
guys
wedge you
next
in the studio if you haven't put on so much weight.
What are you not?
Right.
Hey,
McCourty giving you the finger. Way to go, Charles.
What game will you be doing this evening?
I'm doing the Jacksonville, Tennessee game tonight.
Oh, that's the same one that'll be on Monday Night Football on TV.
Oh, very good. Very good. You are right on top of things, boy, I'll tell you.
Where's this game being played?
This game is being played down in Nashville.
Boy, does anybody care about this game?
Probably not. No, only the people in Nashville and Jacksonville, and then the people who like listening to us on the radio.
No. Well.
But no, tonight's game is it's not one of those games that you would consider a real a real stunner from previews and all that other stuff. So, but we still got to do it, right? Get paid to do it. It's just like I get paid to do this.
Oh, you don't like being on with us?
Not the way you guys treat me, no.
Well, why?
The last few weeks, it's
Don't
really
you have a
been
sense
bad.
of humor?
I have a great sense of humor.
Oh,
But
we're just
seriously,
kidding around.
I feel like I should be, you guys should be just like welcoming with open arms.
Well, you know what,
Howie?
Howie?
You don't. You kill me.
You know the difference between you and Howie and
I
Phil?
don't want to hear you, Barney. Knock
They're
it off.
Super Bowl winners.
Uh-oh. I think that's hurtful.
That's cold.
That's
trying to
cold.
keep it
That's
real.
cold.
You
No,
apologize to
Keep
Boomer.
it real. I don't need this. I don't need this stuff.
You
I'm
apologize
paying
to
the
Boomer.
guy's salary. I don't need this.
Hey,
And listen to the little elf in the background. You guys are really great when I'm 2,000 miles away.
hey, take a
It's great.
breath so I can ask you a question.
I don't want to listen to you anymore. I'm tired of you.
Well, I think
Can
that's
I talk to Chuck? Let me talk to Chuck. Chuck,
No,
Chuck,
go ahead. What do you want to know? What do you want to know?
Chuck, how are you doing, all right?
I'm fine.
Good. You
Boomer,
want
as
to
a
know
matter
anything
of
about
fact.
tonight's game?
Well, what are you
Chuck? Be more
talking
than
to me?
happy tell you.
It's not my program. For God's sake, you got to talk to the I-Man.
Oh, now Chuck. Oh, no.
What are you talking about?
I mean, you just sat there for 5 minutes ago.
I'm not gonna, you can't come over here for comfort, aid and comfort, because I'm unable to give it. Stop
Oh,
my
here we are,
program.
Chuck. Here I am thinking that you're a real professional, and now you're just...
I'm a
stupid
professional?
That's...
He's a professional butt kisser.
Don't be attacking Charles.
He's got to stay here after you hang up.
Didn't you and I talk about the Jets in New England? Did we talk about that game?
No, we didn't.
Well, I didn't see how they could go up there and win, but man.
It was, I don't know how they won either. They just basically just ran over him. And the difference in the game was Curtis Martin, who Bill Parcells brought down from New England 3 years ago. So obviously Bill knew what he was doing. And there's a lot of pressure now up in New England with Bill Belichick. Not a place you'd want to be if you're in professional football.
I was very happy to see the Redskins beat Art Modell and the Baltimore Ravens with a bunch of murderers on their team.
Well, you're right. And the other thing, too, is Brian Billick runs up the score on teams like Cincinnati and Cleveland, but he can't beat the tough teams. So, you know, he gets his numbers up by playing the patsies in the league, but when it comes time to play a big team, they can't win.
What are we talking about now?
He's the head coach of Baltimore, Brian Billick.
Yeah, he's a creep, isn't he?
Well, I mean, he ran up the score on Bruce Coslett, and the next day Bruce resigned, so I kind of don't like that.
Yeah. We actually like Bruce Coslett.
Yeah, we do like
Bruce. In fact, he is a good guy.
Yes, he is.
Unlike
very
you.
good guy.
So.
Unlike me, right?
Yeah, well,
okay.
no, you
just can't wait to give it to me. What is the matter
because you come on here and you have this attitude, and you attack us.
And who gives me that attitude?
Nothing. I try to.
I always come on. Hey, Don,
I try to treat you with
today? You give me a good mood. How's everything? No, and you start right in with me.
And right away, you're attacking my friend Chris Russo and my friend Sessa, and being beat by in a meaningless summer Arbitron book, beaten by two little punks who don't have guts enough to stand up to their management. I mean,
all right, let's get into that for a minute. The only reason that you don't like those guys is because they won't come on and diss Howard Stern.
No, they're gutless.
No,
you know why I don't like them? Because they're cowards.
No,
they're cowards.
Sickening.
They are cowards.
You guys hate each other. It's unbelievable.
They are gutless.
You hate
Opie and Anthony. I can't talk the talk. They can't walk the walk. They are two little gutless weasels.
Well,
they've already proved that.
They got the number one afternoon.
Oh, they got nothing. They have no guts.
But
they have no guts. Big deal.
They don't know anything.
Big deal. They have no guts. No guts. They have no guts. They're gutless sissy boys.
Why are they gutless sissy boys?
Because they won't stand up to management.
Your show anyway. They're probably sleeping right now.
Well, and just if they're hearing this, they are.
That's your show. It's Imus in the morning, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
You guys in radio just hate each other. It's unbelievable. Why do you hate Howard?
What?
Why do you hate Howard Stern?
I don't hate him.
You hate Howard Stern.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I do not.
Because you wanted Opie and Anthony to come on and diss Howard Stern, and then you're mad
we just
at
want to
Opie and
cause trouble.
They won't come on and diss Howard Stern. Now, why do you hate those guys?
Because they're gutless. Because
they
let management. Because they let management tell them what to do.
All right, and what? Well, will you explain why management told them what to do?
Who knows?
You know.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm not going to get into it.
So far, management's butt. You know everything.
No. I'm just saying that they don't tell me what to do.
Well, nobody tells you what to do.
Well,
but then, so what's the deal? Why do all these people hate each other?
Oh, do I really hate Howard Stern? No.
Then why are you always dissing him?
Well, it's just fun.
It is. So now you're backtracking.
No, I'm not.
Part of the deal.
I hate
part
it.
of the deal.
No, I absolutely do not. I don't even know. I mean, we worked with him years ago. In fact, he was actually a pretty nice guy.
Oh, so now you like him?
No, I always have liked him.
Oh, so he's been making fun of you on his show or something?
That's fine.
Is he?
Oh, of course.
Sure.
All right, so then what's the deal with Opie
He's also
and Anthony?
number one
What's the deal with Opie and Anthony? Come on, tell me. I want to know what's the root of the problem.
They're gutless little...
Tell you 10 times already.
Wait, how many times we got to tell you? We just told you.
Why did you
How hard is this to understand? That's why you couldn't win the Super Bowl, because you couldn't remember... You couldn't figure out what the plays were. God, honest to God, you couldn't understand the playbook. Do you want me to... I'm going to explain it slowly to you. I use small words.
Another concussion or what?
How many... Jesus, God
It's
almighty.
unbelievable. I got Barney the elf and the old man.
Are you doing these broadcasts without a helmet?
Are you crazy or something?
No, I'm mad dog sick of you.
Alzheimer's. It's already setting in. I can't believe it.
What?
I'm telling you, eat the carrot baby food. I'm telling you, it's great for you.
Get off my phone.
You get off my phone.
No, you get off my phone.
Hang up. I want you to hang up right now. Hang up.
Eat me.
Hang up.
That's
I'm not going to eat you. I'm going to kick the crap out of you.
Boomer Esiason. Sponsored by Volvo.
You know you could have been a candle. I'm holding you so do, the things you do, the way you do, oh, baby. Imus in the morning.
Have you seen any of the Avatar?
Now, America's least influential political personality, industrialist, populist, and Reform Party founder, H.Ross Perot.
Larry, thank you. Good to be on your show. Can we get down to basics about all this? Can we? Answer me, TV boy. Well, I'm sorry to raise my voice to you, but I am more PO'd than a paralyzed pervert in a naked troop of altar boys over what's happening in our presidential voting. First place, Larry, I endorsed Junior Bush. Did you hear me? Yeah. Endorsed him. Yeah. Nice young man, fellow Texan, all that. Threw my considerable weight right behind him to shove him up over the top. And what did the dumb bastard go out and do? Screwed up a sure thing. Had it in the bag, Larry. Made me look stupider than a $4 hooker working at Jehovah's Witness convention. What was my motivation? Just to set things right, Larry. Make up for murdering the kid's old man and handing the White House to Bubba Clinton. That's all I was trying to do. Just set things right with the Bushes. Now, do you think that Junior could have gone out and worked a little, like Gore done in that last couple of days when he was running around like he had starving gypsies in his pants, gnawing his nads? Hell no! Junior goes to Austin, kicks back with the catheter kid, Cheney, and starts in on doing nothing but celebrating. Well, celebrating what, Larry? Having the mind of a belt loop? You seen him. Started putting together his transition team when the only thing he had to transition to was that patch of cracked mud he calls a ranch. You seen him and Cheney out there wandering around the place? They make it look like one of them dude ranches for middle-aged queers, don't they? Anyway, here's where we're left, as far as I can figure it. You now got all these people over in Florida deciding who the next president's going to be, when Bush could have avoided all of it if he just worked harder and kicked that Jeb loser's ass into gear a little bit. Anyway, you got the presidency being decided now by lawyers and a room full of people who belong to the Left Blinker Eternal Light Club, trying to hand count ballots when they couldn't read an eye chart with an electron microscope. And ain't that reassuring? Real world, Larry, if Bush winds up getting it, everybody over the IQ of chlorophyll is going to be pissed off. And if Gore gets it, everybody over the moral threshold of Mary Kay Letourneau is going to be pissed off. So what's the answer, Larry? I'm asking you a question, you four-eyed fart. Well, if you'll just stick your nose under the hood of all this, like I've done, sniff to see if something smells like a day-old carp, it don't take no Maryland vote savant to work it out in your head. If we elect either one of these two, half the country's going to want to feed Jim Jones out-of-here juice to the other half. Can't leave Bubba in there. Constitution says so. And frankly, I don't want to risk going through the whole pecker tracks on the cocktail dress thing again. Have him getting one of them Chads pregnant or whatever it is I'm hearing about. So, what's the answer? You're looking at it, Larry. Draft movement for Perot. Make Ross the boss. Look, I'm a billionaire. Don't need no salary. Work my usual government contract deal. $1 a year and 10% of the GNP. Can't be more fair than that. You can thank me later, Larry. I'll bumper sticker it for you. When a constitutional crisis rises up to Texas, ain't too late for an egomaniac from Texas.
You're an asshole.
Yeah, small time. You get it? Small time?
Yeah, when you're still an asshole.
You.
You.
You, bud.
You.
You.
You junk-eared queer.
Hello, I love you, won't you tell me your name? Imus in the morning.
You've been thinking about taking a trip to the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. Now there are two more reasons to check it out.
You're gonna keep me down, I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. How will they remember me? What is my legacy? The Vince Foster deal, the Mike Espy deal, the Sis Narrow deal, the Dick Morris deal, the debacle over national health care, in a hotel with Paula in my underwear. Oh, Billy boy, Billy boy, Billy boy. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. How will they remember me? What is my legacy? The Crooked Land deal, the Crooked Penis deal, the Charlie Tree deal, the Johnny Wang deal, missing bill and records found in the book room, booking overnights in the Lincoln bedroom. Don't cry for me, Janet Reno. Independent counsel, I get the Not in Hell deal,
relationship with Miss Lewinsky. The Vince Foster deal, the Mike Espy deal, the Sis Narrows deal, the Dick Mars deal, the debacle over national health care, in a hotel with Paula in my underwear, the Crooked Land deal, the Crooked Penis deal, the Charlie Tree deal, the Johnny Quang deal, missing billing records found in the book room, booking overnights in the lady bedroom, the Nut and Halen deal, the Vernon Jordan deal, the saxophone deal, the illegal loan deal, testimony that's a bit contradictory of an alleged relationship with Miss Lewinsky.
Yes, O.J.
O.J.
I know that.
Hey, I noticed something about that peace talks going on over in London. Arabs and Jews ain't never gonna get along. You know when there's gonna be peace in the Middle East? When I find the real killers. Arab's not wasting his time trying to get Israel to relinquish the West Bank. I'm not an educated man, Amos, but even I know you ain't never gonna get a Jew to give up a bank.
Well, your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the morning.
A Manhattan criminal court judge has upheld a charge of attempted tampering with evidence against a man who allegedly ate a bag of marijuana while police were chasing him. So he swallowed the evidence,
Well,
detectives are searching for
like Monica Lewinsky.
I guess you could make that assertion.
That was just unfortunate.
What a wacko.
Well,
Know what we're looking for here.
No, not at all.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Welcome to the Sports Edge. Sports Edge.
Yeah. From Sports Radio 66, the band, WFAN.
All right, here now with comment and observation on headline issues of the day. I'm in Washington's senior political analyst, the late Richard M. Nixon.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you for permitting me to join you here on your very fine program yet again. Imus in the morning. Jeez, I don't care what I did, J.D., or what terrible, terrible consequences I suffered. At least I never had to go through, as the 37th President of the United States, what the 42nd just endured. God almighty. Mr. President, did you ever, as governor of the state of Arkansas, pursue, as part of your official duties, a bob job? Well, did you? My God, what a total degradation of that high office. And she's there. I mean, the bobber and the bobbie are just about 5 pecker lengths apart.
Fine.
With her drilling daggers into the poor slob and him looking at the ceiling and at the floor and the walls, anything to try to avoid looking at her. At least, I suppose.
No.
On the other hand, Dano, you saw the makeover, did you? I mean, that ranks right up there with a Jesus deal. Knocking scabs off a leper, for crying out loud. Damn. So who knows what went down in that room Saturday?
No.
I'm sorry about that. Unfortunate. Went down was clearly a less than desirable choice of words.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what occurred? Yeah, that's better. And they videotaped the whole thing?
Yeah.
Has it leaked yet? Because I'm telling you, if it does, it'll be bigger than the Pamela and Tommy Lee hot sheets tape, dude. Anyway, to return to my point, all they ever did to me was run me the hell out of office. I did not have to cop to questions about some babe copping my... Well, I'll drop it.
Good.
You just wonder, though, whether Congress will have to pass some sort of emergency appropriation to cover the costs of mangled lamps and smashed ashtrays back in the old private living quarters, you know where, as a result of Bill Clinton's very own Saturday Night Massacre. Jesus. Anyway, on to the next disaster, John Glenn returns to space. Or, Houston, we have a problem. Okay, I admire the senator just as much as the next guy, but for goodness sake, why this? What's to be gained? Can you tell me? Here we're in the middle of a great national debate over whether seniors should be allowed to drive down to the damn 7-Eleven on the corner, and we're turning John Glenn loose with a space shuttle? Honest to God, J.D., the inmates really have taken over, right? What'd that guy say who called into John Gibson's show on MSNBC the other night? Discovery, Houston, your turn signal's still on, Senator, and has been now for the past 8 orbits, you old fool. Or they get right down to lunchtime, and it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3. Oh, damn, it's right on the tip of my tongue. The first space mission on which the prime contractors will be Martin Marietta, General Dynamics, and Depends. Ouch! Just a very brief glance into the Dick scope there for you, men. Scope, Dick, the whole affair, property of the United States government. And Dick Nixon, once a proprietor thereof, but now where Bill Clinton wishes he were. Dead.
The vibes were bad on the set of Vibe yesterday. At least 7 people were hurt in the collapse of a bleacher railing during the taping of the show Vibe. Audience members at the show, starring Sinbad, were rushing to grab prizes that were being tossed to them, leaning out over this rail when they leaned too far and the whole thing came down.
In the house!
8 people, at least 8 feet to a concrete floor.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Fire Department spokesman Brian Humphrey says the prizes, CDs that they were tossing out, were being tossed into the stands before the taping.
Hard to describe this thing as anything but a fluke. It's hard to believe that this could have been prevented. However, the incident is being investigated both by the CBS Television City staff and LA City firefighters.
There's been no comment as yet from producers or from CBS where the show is taped, and Sinbad himself, he not hurt. Unabomber suspect
Well,
Ted...
he was probably tossing the CVs, wasn't he?
Probably was. I don't know who was tossing
Well,
them,
of
but
course,
he was
what I had
involved.
hoped when I initially heard this was that it was some kind of Geraldo-like melee where they were, where there was, you know, there
chairs.
people were fighting. But that was obviously not the case.
No. Unabomber suspect Ted Kaczynski showed up in court for opening statements yesterday, but there was something different about him.
What?
Sacramento County Undersheriff Lou Blanas.
During the late night or early morning hours, Mr. Kaczynski may have attempted suicide in his cell. The information that we received from the U.S. Marshal was that when he arrived at the courthouse this morning, he had a red mark on the right side of his neck and had no underwear.
Reason being, he had tried to fashion a noose.
Sound like a party at Barney Frank's house, doesn't it? Rough sex.
He is now being held in a psychiatric cell and is being constantly monitored, but he's fine.
No, he's great. And Paula Corbin-Jones is going to show up at the White House, apparently, on the 17th of January.
Unless Mr. Bennett can get it changed, and he is supposedly making an effort to do that.
Well, if he's trying to get it changed on the talking about this deposition they're going to take of the president, he's trying to get it changed on the basis of that the date has become public.
Right.
That's always going to be the case. It's always somebody's always going to link it. I mean, it's like when Petrocelli, whatever his name is, took the O.J. Simpson's deposition, and it was supposed to be secret. The location was supposed to be secret. Well, you know, they showed up, and all the news media from the entire world was there. So. But this makes me very uncomfortable. This whole thing,
it's messy. Messy.
Well, I
agree with you.
Sleazy.
Absolutely. It's enough to make you uncomfortable, sure.
But I don't know why this whole thing can't just wait until. But I don't know why they can't.
It's quite simple. It's not the way it works. Justice delayed is justice denied.
Well, I understand that, but I don't know. I mean, do you actually think? Now, be honest. Don't be silly. Be serious now.
Well, I'm
serious. Well, no, you're not, because you jerk me. You jerk my chain constantly.
Here
and tell me stuff.
Take this stuff.
And tell me stuff that's. But do you believe? Do you really believe that he invited her?
Well, you're probably going to ask me a question that, as a independent and responsible journalist, I'll be unable to answer. But go ahead. Form your question.
I'd ask Bernard, but Bernard can't ever be serious.
Well, I can be serious.
Bernard is so partisan.
What if I'm unable to respond to you?
It's a lie.
Revealing something that I would rather not reveal about a
All right, well, let me ask you then.
Ask me anything about the fat crook.
Do you believe? Do you believe?
Yes.
About fat crook.
Well, that's
I'm not fat. What's that lady talking about? Anyway,
go ahead.
Do you believe that the president actually invited her up to this room and took his wiener out and asked?
Well,
do you?
Now how would I?
I know you.
How would I know that?
I didn't ask you if you knew. I asked you if you believed that actually happened, or there's something less than that happened.
Something. Well, something. I believe honestly that something along those lines.
That he exposed himself to her. Do you believe that?
Well, I just can't.
I'm not asking you, Bernard. I know what you think.
I can't.
You and Lou. Well, maybe Lou does.
We don't know that. I mean, that's why this thing is
I know that, but that's
adjudicated. I don't know.
I didn't ask you if you knew.
Do I believe it is possible? Or is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yes, I believe it is possible.
Okay.
Not George Bush or Jimmy Carter, for crying out loud.
Well, George Bush also had some of his with a sling
Not
into
like
that.
this pervert.
Well, I just can't. I just can't believe some sane person, would invite the governor. I don't care what how sex crazed he is. Would invite somebody up to his hotel room and take his wiener out and ask her to kiss it. I can't believe that happened. I mean, I believe something happened. I believe he may have tried to kiss her. I do believe that. I believe that could have happened. But I'm talking about what they're alleging happened.
Well,
that's grotesque, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes,
awful.
it is. I can't argue with that.
I am not talking to you.
Imagine if that were your daughter that he did
Well,
it to.
that's true. I mean, it's very, it's disturbing.
Let's clear him. If he didn't do it, let's get the investigation and clear the fat pervert.
All right, here on line 1 now from Fargo, North Dakota is Dixie. Good morning, Dixie.
Hi.
What's the matter?
I just have a comment for you, Imus.
All right.
I enjoy your show.
Yeah, great.
I especially like your brother. I think he adds a lot to your program.
That's great. Why don't you call him, talk to him?
Well, listen to this.
All right.
I am sick of you referring to the president as a fatso or a fat moose. You should take a look at yourself. You're heavier than he is.
No, I'm not.
Oh. Yes, you certainly are.
Whoa. Here you are out there in Fargo, North Dakota, obviously drunk. Calling me, giving me a horrible time.
No, I don't drink.
Well,
but I'm just,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I
remember when you used to have him on.
Let me. Well, he won't talk to me anymore now. But let me just say this to you.
Okay.
He tied up this town, Manhattan, yesterday. Ruined the entire city. Here, raising money. If there's one thing.
They're all out raising money.
Well, no. That's
Mr. Imus,
then that's well, okay.
The Republicans.
Well, then we should let Terry. Let me talk.
Okay.
Don't yell at the nice listener.
Well, she's rude, and I don't talk to her anymore.
Baby. Lord said, baby, fat is red sand. Yes, I said, baby. Ooh, baby, fat is red sand.
Imus in the morning.
You've been thinking about taking a trip to the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. Now there are 2 more. Dupree singing that blues. Good morning, Feets.
Morning, boy.
What you go sing for us this morning?
I got them vindication blues.
Yeah, that you'll be out by 56, won't you, baby?
I do my best.
All right.
Well, it's a sad story. What happened to that Paula Jones? Somewhat exculpatory, 'cause Bubba got away with showing that dog his bone. She went for broke and now she choking 'cause she didn't know she'd lose. But her case had no foundation. Court gave him exoneration. She got them ever so frustrating vindication blues. She ain't exactly what you call a scholar, but she sure learned the lesson in anatomy. They offered her $750,000, but she decided to hold out for an apology. She cried Mayday, but her payday just went and bid that girl adieu. And though she made the accusation of a flirtation situation, it never got to adjudication, and now she got them vindication blues. Yeah. Playing drums and smoking cigars. Bubba sure don't act that contrived. But the one who really did Paula wrong was Susan Weber Wright. So after all that trying, Mrs. Jones never got her day in court. And guys like Anita Hill and Gloria Steinem didn't give her none of that sisterhood support. It appears it took 7 years for her to finally get screwed. His flesh was weak, but she wasn't willing. But seems to me the villain is chicks like Susan Carpenter McMillan. For her manipulation and exploitation, while the feminism delegation registered their indignation. So much for women's liberation. That's why Paula got them vindication blues. Mississippi.
Motown. Oh, good God.
Kiss it, baby.
Imus in the morning.
You've been thinking about taking a trip to the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. Now there are 2 more reasons to check it out. Fujifilm is excited to announce the arrival of 2 giant pandas, Misuk and Wanuki, or whatever, Tian, from China to the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. And beginning in early 2001, everyone will be able to enjoy the pandas in their new habitat as part of Fujifilm's continued environmental preservation effort. They have contributed $7.8 million to the National Zoo. This contribution will help the Smithsonian to bring the 2 giant pandas to the United States to fund construction of the state-of-the-art conservation habitat. And in partnership with the Friends of the National Zoo, developed conservation education programs. Undoubtedly, in anticipation of his run in 2000. Jeez. Well, you're not going to get this on Meet the Press or the Today Show, are you?
No, you're not.
Hi, this is Elvis Presley. I guess the first thing people want to know is why I can't stand still when I'm singing. Some people tap their feet, some people snap their fingers, and some people just sway back and forth. I just sort of do them all together, I guess. Singing rhythm and blues really knocks it out. I watch my audience and listen to them, and I know that we're all getting something out of our system, and none of us knows what it is. The important thing is that we're getting rid of it, and nobody's getting hurt.
Imus in the morning.
You all know from the Post, who covers the Giants on a regular basis and is headed down to do the Eagles and Bucks tomorrow, transportation permitting. One more hour to go. Russo and Esiason in the huddle at 10.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan, WFAN.
Listen to Susan Waldman and Jody McDonald from 10 to 1.
They'll announce the inductees into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Among the nominees, Lawrence Taylor, the former Giant linebacker, held a press conference yesterday, said if he doesn't get in, he'll deal with it.
Personally, myself, it doesn't take much to make me happy.
Unfortunately, what makes him happy is what's got him arrested over the past several years.
No kidding.
But LT scolded the media for being self-righteous when talking about his drug problem.
That's part of life, that's part of life. I'm sorry. Everybody can't be as perfect as every writer in that room. I'm quite sure there's no drug problems in that room right now.
LT on the offensive. The former great Giant linebacker who will get in.
He should get in. It should have nothing to do with if it didn't affect the game and if he wouldn't.
Didn't affect how hard he hit.
No, so.
Figures you would take that point of view.
Well, what other point of view should you take?
It's probably the right one, but it still figures that you would take it.
I guess it's the right one, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Come on, man. Come on. He played the game. Played it well. Played it hard.
There you go.
Let Pete Rose in, too.
And let Pete Rose in.
Now, that's different.
Yeah, but Pete was gambling on games.
On his own games.
On his own games.
He
so
should not be allowed in.
Except he wasn't gambling for his team to lose, was he?
Well, you don't know that. That's the
That's
thing.
a good point. It's a good point.
Nah, I still think Pete Rose should be in.
Yeah,
No, they should. Keep him out.
Yeah, get him in.
Really?
Yes.
Keep him out.
Strongly feel that
Keep
way.
you out.
Australian Open tennis.
But you're turning into just the worst kind of sports geek.
You know, I can't. You asked
for
a response.
You know who you're turning into? Lupica.
Oh! I want to turn into Charles Manson. That's what I want to turn into. Australian Open tennis. Two men had advanced to the semifinals. Thomas Enqvist and Nicholas Lepente, both winning their quarterfinal matches. Boy, tennis fans have been long anticipating that semi-match. Enqvist and Lepente. Who's the lucky network who gets to televise that ratings blockbuster? Meanwhile, for the women, Lindsay Davenport knocked off Venus Williams in straight sets to advance to the Babes semifinals. Venus was penalized during the match when some of her hair beads fell out onto the court.
What?
First time, they replayed the point when it happened. The second time, they took away a point. And Venus was not happy.
I have not in the past been notorious for my beads falling out of my hair. It's not an incident that occurs frequently. And I've never had such treatment before from any other umpire or any other match. And I just found it quite odd, and it was a little bit disrupting, and it was just definitely an experience that just happens in life, I suppose.
Let it bother her, and she lost the match.
Might have been helpful had she remained in high school or some school.
Some other honeys.
School. Remember Jennifer Capriati?
Oh, yeah.
Live and learn. Other honeys still alive. Amelia Mauresmo, she made it to her first semifinal, 19-year-old unseeded player. And Steffi Graf, who will now play Monica Seles in their quarterfinal match coming up later on today.
That's great.
An NBA training camp this year, Master P. He's a rapper who's trying out for the Charlotte Hornets. He's actually a pretty good player, played in the CBA a bit last year, and wants to at least make a run at his dream. Here's Master P.
I'm just looking forward to playing her, obviously.
Well, it's not Master P, but this is Master P.
Master V.
That's all that's left, Mike.
All right, Master P.
Master P.
Got a lot to say. What'd he say?
How does that happen if we don't have the cut in here?
He's not going to make the team, so it really doesn't matter what he says anyway. Actually, I was confident you were going to blow it up before it was played, so I didn't bother to bring it in.
I bought these sneakers that costed me a lot of money, and I'm going to try my best. You know what I'm saying? I ain't cut nobody, ain't done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Master P.
Yeah.
Master P and Mace, perhaps on the same
I
team
ain't
this
choked
year.
nobody yet.
No, of course not. So.
That's sports. I'm Mike Breen.
The police coming straight from the underground. A young nigga got it bad cause I'm brown. And not the other color, so police think they have the authority to kill a minority. That cause I ain't the one for a punk motherfucker with a badge and a gun to be beaten on. And thrown in jail, we can go toe to toe in the middle of a sale. With me cause I'm a teenager with a little bit of gold and a pager. Searching my car, looking for the product. Thinking every nigga is selling narcotics.
Imus in the morning.